Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking language learning and turning it into a fully gamified, kawaii-style cartoon adventure. Think of it as a quest, from grammar to gastronomy, where we're going to unlock conversational French fluency level by level. So grab your gear because we're jumping right into the source material to level up those language skills in the absolute most fun way possible. Let's go!
Okay, let's dive into our level map for today. We've got 5 stops. First, childhood dreams and jobs. Second, time travel with tenses. Third, asking the right questions. Fourth, the secret of articles. And finally, our boss level, the Mediterranean shrimp recipe.
Section 1. Childhood Dreams and Jobs. Welcome to the village of imperfect past.
So here, we're exploring that funny gap between what our characters dreamed of being when they were little and what they actually do today. Let's look at the character arc for our first villager, Ève. She goes through this fantastic transformation, both in her life and in her verbs. Back in her childhood, she used the imperfect tense, je voulais devenir, meaning I wanted to become. She totally dreamed of being an enseignante de français, a French teacher, or a docteur, mainly because to her, doctors and nurses were just absolute heroes. But, as she grew up, she discovered a real talent with animals. And now, her verbs shift straight into the present tense, je suis, meaning I am. Today, she is a vétérinaire, using those medical skills to help sick animals. It's such a beautiful evolution, right? Grammatically and personally.
Now let's contrast that with Karl's pivot. Look at his high-speed childhood dream. He wanted to be a policier, a police officer. Why? Well, to protect people, but let's be real, mostly to rouler très vite en voiture, to drive really, really fast in a car. But then reality hit, and Karl actually became an avocat, a lawyer. Hey, he still helps people, just, from behind a desk in a quiet office, totally minus the high-speed car chases. Also, a quick vocabulary note here, if Karl were female, these job titles would take their feminine forms. So, policière instead of policier, and avocat instead of avocat.
Section 2. Time travel with tenses, navigating past, present, and future.
So the crucial point is, to really master conversational French, we have to be able to quickly sort our actions into the correct timeline. Let's gamify this a bit, and just drop these sentences into the right time buckets. First up, the past bucket, using the passé composé. Nous avons fait nos devoirs. We did our homework. Or, j'ai travaillé. I worked. Next, the present bucket, things happening literally right now. Il a soif. He's thirsty. Or, tu es de bonne humeur. You're in a good mood. And finally, the future bucket, using the future proche. Je vais cuisiner une pizza. I'm going to cook a pizza. Or, ils vont arriver en retard. They're going to arrive late. Organizing them mentally like this just makes it a million times easier to pull them up when you're actually speaking.
But hold on, our time machine has a trapdoor. While avoir is your usual go-to helper verb for the past tense, like in j'ai travaillé, you've got to watch out for the être trap. Verbs involving motion, or reflexive verbs where you're doing something to yourself, actually use être instead of avoir. Look at these examples. Elles sont parties tôt. They left early. And tu t'es levé à 7 heures. You got up at 7. Seriously, don't let those trip you up.
Section 3. Asking the right questions. Welcome to the interrogation room.
All right, step inside. Here, we have to solve conversational puzzles by mastering the 7 key question words. Let's see how sharp those detective skills are. Time for a quick interactive pop quiz. Blank, es-tu fatigué? And the suspect answers, je suis fatigué parce que j'ai mal dormi. I'm tired because I slept badly. So, what question word goes in that blank? If you guessed pourquoi, meaning why, you absolutely nailed it. Pourquoi es-tu fatigué? Let's look at the rest of our interrogation toolkit. And this brilliantly illustrates our complete toolkit. It's incredibly straightforward once it's mapped out like this. We've got comment for how, like comment dit-on thank you. We have où for where, où travailles-tu. Combien for how much or how many, which is perfect for shopping. Combien coûte ce chandail? Qui is who, like qui est ton professeur. And quand is when. Quand reviens-tu? Honestly, take a mental screenshot of this. It is pure gold for conversational fluency.
Real quick, before we leave the interrogation room, here's a pro tip on the quel versus Q vowel rule. There's actually a brilliant phonetic logic to this. You use quel when the very next word starts with a vowel, like the word est. It makes the spoken liaison sound buttery smooth. Quel est ton sport préféré? You wouldn't use que there. But que is perfectly fine before consonants, like in que fais-tu? What are you doing? It's all about making the language flow naturally off the tongue.
Section 4. The secrets of articles. Entering the pantry of quantities.
Now we're transitioning into the culinary foundation of this explainer, where we finally solve the notorious mystery of known versus unknown amounts. Let's play the great quantity matchup. First, we have quantité inconnue, unknown quantities. When you're dealing with unmeasurable liquids or just random handfuls of things, you use du, de la, or della. So it's de l'eau for some water, du thé for some tea, or des bleuets for a handful of blueberries. Now contrast that with quantité connue, known, specific quantities. These get un or une. It's not just apple, it's une pomme, a whole specific apple. It's not just ice cream, it's un bol de crème glacée, one specific bowl.
Let's hit you with one more quick puzzle just to lock this in. Which goes where? For the first one, eau, water, is a general, unknown quantity, so it becomes je bois de l'eau. But for the second one, a verre, a glass, well, that's a specific, countable item, so it becomes je bois un verre de jus. Once you grasp this pattern, the whole mystery just vanishes.
Section 5. Boss Level. Preparing the Mediterranean Shrimp Recipe.
Let's move to and see how this all builds into our final boss level. We're combining all our newfound knowledge of tenses, quantities, and vocab to decipher a real-world culinary text. To do this, we're diving into a post from the bilingual food blog Dash of Honey. The source material points out that bilingual blogs like this are fantastic real-world tools for learning conversational French. You get the English translation right there alongside authentic modern French syntax. It's such a great hack.
And authentic it definitely is. Let's break down this quote because it's essentially a secret cheat code for informal Quebecois slang. The author writes, "Quand j'ai pas envie de me casser la tête." Literally, when I don't want to break my head, but it really means when I don't feel like overcomplicating things. Notice how she completely skipped the ne in the negative sentence? She says j'ai pas instead of je n'ai pas. That is super common in casual speech. Then look at this brilliant franglais. She says she likes to pimper it with toppings. I love that. And finally, she shortens the word for freezer, congélateur, to just congélo. Guys, this is how people actually speak in the real world.
Okay, let's quickly review our boss-level kitchen vocabulary so we can actually cook this thing. Our protein, crevettes crues et décortiquées, raw and peeled shrimp. We need the zeste d'un citron. For veggies, we've got oignon rouge, courgette, which is zucchini, and tomate cerise. Now, pay close attention to the measurements here. C'est à soupe is a cuillère à soupe, or a tablespoon, literally the big one for eating soup. C'est à thé is a cuillère à thé, or a teaspoon. And for garnishes, we top it all off with feta émietté, crumbled feta, Kalamata olives, and annette frais, fresh dill.
Finally, we execute the recipe, but notice the grammar hidden in these cooking steps. Recipes in French generally use the infinitive form of verbs, that unconjugated root form. Look at our steps: préchauffer, to preheat, mélanger, to mix, trancher et couper, slice and cut, cuire, to bake, and servir, to serve. Learning these infinitive verbs is a massive advantage for you. Why? Because these are the exact root forms you need to build the futur proche we learned about in the time machine. If you want to say, I am going to preheat the oven, you just grab that infinitive and say, je vais préchauffer le four. It all connects. It's like a giant puzzle coming together.
We did it! We cleared the village, navigated time, solved the interrogations, unlocked the pantry, and completely conquered the boss recipe. You now have this massive new toolkit of vocabulary, grammar rules, and authentic conversational slang. So here's my question to you. Are you going to test out this new vocabulary by whipping up some Mediterranean shrimp tonight? Or are you just going to impress your friends by randomly dropping the word congelo into casual conversation? Whatever you choose, keep leveling up. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.